Welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate, and I just want to thank you so much for being here for today's pick a card reading. It's been a while for me. I've taken a little bit of a break, just spending some time in therapy and a lot just kind of coming out and having to sit with that energy before I've been clear enough to do readings and to channel for you guys. So anyways, I'm happy to be back and I'm thankful that you're here. So for today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking at how your person thinks you are feeling about them. And so we'll be starting off with an energy check-in to see how you are currently feeling and thinking about your person and the connection, just to help you confirm that you picked the right pile or to give you an opportunity to choose a different pile and listen to that energy check-in. There will be an extended reading for each pile where we'll be looking at how your person feels about you. So if you're curious about that and you feel like your reading really resonates, you might want to check it out. I'll have it linked down below in the description box. So we have 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the Mystic Mondays Tarot with this Angel Aura Crystal Point. For pile number 2, we have the Dreamy Moons Tarot with this Clear Quartz Heart. And for pile number 3, we have the Heart in the Hands Tarot with this Black Obsidian Crystal. So go ahead and take whatever time you need to tune into what energy in the pile you're feeling most drawn to. Again, there will be an energy check-in, so don't worry too much. Just go with your gut. That's what I always try to do. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I will have the information about the decks linked down below. I will have any information about me in case you guys are curious. And I'll have the extended readings linked down below. But without further ado, let's get into your readings and I'll see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Angel Aura Crystal and the Mystic Mondays Tarot, then this is going to be your reading where we're looking at how your person thinks you are currently feeling about them. Before we get into that, we are going to start off with an energy check-in where we're going to be looking at how you currently are feeling and thinking about this person and anything else relevant about the relationship, just to help you feel more confident that you picked the right pile and to give you the chance to pick another pile if you feel like it doesn't resonate. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start with some tarot here. So Spirit, please tune me into pile number 1. Those who chose the Angel Aura. How are they currently feeling and thinking about this person? Can you please give us some context to go off of for the current dynamic here, especially from pile number 1's perspective? Also, I'm so excited to get back into readings. If you're watching this when it does come out, I have been taking a break and just kind of giving myself some time to, process some stuff I'm talking about in therapy and just making sure that when I am doing these readings that I am in a clear-headed place so I'm not interfering with any of the messages. So very happy to be back and thank you for being here. So for pile number 1, how do they currently feel about this person we're going to be looking into for their pile? We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Hermit. Yeah, okay, so we have also the 6 of Swords. Okay, so I feel like this is someone that you have a lot of nostalgic feelings about. You could feel like this is a soulmate connection. It's not to say that there haven't been difficulties given the fact we have the Hermit and the 6 of Swords. It makes me feel like you have been moving away from this connection, or it may even be that you've had to take a step back to kind of do your own reflection in your life right now. I feel like it's probable that you aren't speaking that much to this person, but it's not to say that you don't still have feelings for them. But I think you are aware that right now what you need in this time period is some time on your own to reflect about where you want your life to go, to kind of spend some time focusing on yourself. And I think there is a little bit of loneliness and a feeling of missing this person, or there's a feeling of nostalgic past, essentially. But it's like there's a transitionary stage going on right now that may be calling you into hermitude, or maybe calling you to do some inner reflection, rather than there being that much outward activity in this connection. So what, can you clarify this? Why is the Six of Cups here? We have the Tower in reverse. We have the Star in reverse. Okay, so yeah, I feel like the Tower in reverse being here, I think you may have had to make some hard decisions, honestly, when it comes to this person, based on maybe things not turning out in the way that you had hoped they would, especially with the Star here. I think you had a lot of hope for this connection, and I think that was really based on sort of the intensity in which you felt the connection with this person. I think when it came to this person in the past, you may have built up sort of a picture of what things would look like in reality based on how you felt, right? So, and it's not to say that those feelings weren't real or reciprocated. It's just that in the real world, I don't know if what you hoped was possible for the connection was actually feasible for whatever reason. You know, it could have been that it's the wrong time for someone. It could be that there were, you or your person, maybe, it could even have to do with you too, because with the Hermit here, but it could be that this connection is actually putting you into a state where you're having to pull back and do some self-reflection to heal from this, because I think you had your hopes up, or I think with the Tower in reverse, you may have been not wanting to see a certain reality when it came to this person, or you didn't want to see that what you hoped to unfold in this connection wasn't happening. And so you may have held on in the past because of those feelings you had. And it may even been that you feel, and it may be that you still feel confused right now, because you may feel sure that there's something really potent and important between you and this person. And it's hard when our intuition tells us one thing and we see the potential. And I also want to say that it's important to realize that those potentials that we feel into, it's not that they're not possible, it's just that they're one timeline. And it could be that there's been different decisions made, there's been choices made by the both of you where it wasn't able to come into fruition in the way that you hoped it would and the way you imagined that it would. And I think there's a sense of coming to terms with letting go of this, maybe even a sense of mourning it, maybe even a sense that you've realized that it hasn't been healthy for you, even though you felt so much love for this person. And it doesn't even have to be that the conclusion is that this person was a bad person, or this person didn't care for you. It's just that you've had to, with the Six of Swords, realize that something wasn't working here. And no matter what feelings you have for someone, no matter how much you love someone, at some point, I think you have to turn inwards and go, I have to make a decision for myself, or like I have to really look at this in all honesty and look at what's actually there, even though I don't want to. So that's what I'm kind of seeing. So could we clarify the Hermit? Yeah, the Seven of Cups. And so that's what I'm seeing is you're taking time away from this. It's almost like this energy where, you know, when you're right in front of, let's say, an environment where this person was, or let's say that there was potential, you know, with the Seven of Cups here, this talks about that sort of elusive feeling of, I don't know exactly what this is going to become. And I have a lot of imagination, and it can talk about fantasy a little bit, like hoping that it's going to be one thing, but you don't know for sure. And it's kind of like that, the fun of imagining and hoping. But what's clear about it is that it's possible that what you were hoping it would be, even though you didn't have a confirmation on it, is not exactly what you were seeing reflected back to you. And so at some point there was a part of you that's like, okay, I have to go within and look at my lens. Why am I trying to hold on to this? Why am I letting myself even maybe hurt for this with the hope of something? Is there something going on with my lens? You know, like what's I feel like there's this part of you that has to do like a reality check with yourself right now. Because what keeps you kind of away from yourself or away from your own intuition and away from your own truth about this may be sort of, it's almost like when you're caught up in it is what I want to say. It's almost like what I'm imagining is, it's the scene from Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief where they go to that place where it's like the casino, and I'm pretty sure it's like, it is rooted in Greek mythology, but it's like a place where you start drinking this liquid, and once you start drinking that, like, it's almost like you drink this Kool-Aid and then you're kind of locked there forever. And it's almost like you're caught up in this fantasy world of like what you think you're getting out of it, but meanwhile you're trapped there and you lose perception with yourself. So if you guys have seen that movie, it's like they all get stuck there and then they forget their agenda. They forget the whole plan for the movie. And so it's like they had to snap themselves out of it and get themselves out of there to reconnect with themselves and remember like who they are, what's real, because it's a moment where they realize they've gotten off track. And it's not to say that that wasn't a real experience, that it wasn't difficult. You know, it's that happens a lot in life where we get caught up in some sort of a hope of something. And there was real reason to think that, because you actually had these feelings. But I think you've had to take a step back truly to start getting yourself together again and to start really seeing things, to start functioning better is what I want to say. Like, I feel like this may have even started to affect your mental health or affect like what decisions you were making for yourself. Like maybe you were even prioritizing this and keeping this when maybe that wasn't the best decision for you. And it may have been that you weren't able to reason correctly when these emotions were there. Yeah, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And so there's something here, King of Pentacles also here in reverse. There's something here about you needing to take a step back to get your confidence back, to kind of get your like, to remember what you deserve and to remember. It's like this feeling of snap out of it, remember your worth. Like, remember that you have this confidence about you. And it's almost like this person maybe had you making decisions that were betraying yourself or had you going for less than your worth. And maybe it was hurting your confidence. Maybe it was something where it's like, oh, I keep doing this. And now I'm hearing Olivia Rodrigo's new song, It's a Bad Idea, right? And it's like, it's a bad idea, right? To go see the ex or like see that person. And then it goes, like my head goes, bah. I'm not going to be able to sing it, but it's like this song kind of goes into this la 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 part. It's like every time I see you, my head goes like this. And then she says like, I've seen more attractive people, but I can't seem to like see that or something. So it's almost like this song is about getting caught up in sort of this delusion of self-betrayal and going for someone who isn't really offering your worth. Yeah, we have the devil underneath. And so I think when it comes down to it, I think you wanted this person to have more realistic potential than they were actually showing you. And it's not to say that they don't actually have that potential, but the King of Pentacles in reverse, it's that they're not standing in it right now. And I think that's something you're coming to terms with and something that you're having to, it's like you kind of, it's like there's this energy of being in a cloud or like being, and I'm seeing the Oracle card that says under a spell. And it's like, it's almost like when you snap out of it, you feel like you fell onto the cold, hard concrete. And I feel like that's an experience I think you've been needing when it comes to this person, because I think it is bringing you back to yourself. And I think if you've been kind of, it's almost like the more, and I feel like I'm going really deep in this energy check-in just because I think I've been missing reading and also I'm just getting into it. So if you guys want to skip to just like how this person feels about you, definitely feel free to do that if you already feel like this is your reading. But I was going to say that like the more that we allow ourselves to kind of ignore our reasoning or ignore like our intuition and kind of just go for, kind of allow ourselves to believe something. And it's like, even though you know deep down that it's not a good idea, it's like the more you kind of get disconnected from yourself. And like that in other ways too is what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's kind of a downward spiral of losing touch with who you are and like what you know is good for you and like your integrity and your values. It's like, it's a slippery slope is what I'm trying to say. And so I think this person was kind of someone that triggered that within you, but I think there's still a lot of feelings for this person, but you seem with the Hermit to be realizing you have to kind of like ground yourself and like really figure out what you need to do in reality, and to not just hold on to like what you wish things could have been here. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Hopefully that resonates. So we are going to be now looking at how your person thinks you feel. For the extended reading, we're going to be looking at how this person is currently feeling and thinking about you, and we'll get messages from them as well, along with guidance. If you are feeling like you want to listen to more and this is not enough, I will have it linked down below in the description box. Okay, so today I'm just going to be doing tarot, and then we'll pull oracle cards as needed, but I just feel like I need to like get back into reading. So the best way for me to do that is like not worry about getting a bunch of oracle cards, but just kind of go into tarot. So I'm going to get a sip of water. And then let's get into it. Okay. Spirit, please tune me in to pile number one's person. Let's go into their subjective view now. So how is pile number one's person assuming, and I want to say assuming because that is almost the best word for it. It's like without them knowing for sure, what are they assuming you are feeling about them? Like what do they think essentially? Okay, so I don't need to reword it a million times, but Spirit, please tune me into pile number one's person, please. I just keep hearing the new Olivia Rodrigo song. That might be a good song for you guys to listen, or it might just be like relatable. And it's like, even if you never dated this person, like I'm not even getting that this has to be like an ex. It could just be, it's just like a love interest. It feels like could be an ex. For a lot of you, I think it'll be different. Like the level of interaction you've had with this person, but regardless, the energetic signature of it is that you've been waiting for more or thinking more is going to develop, and it hasn't been mirrored back to you in reality yet. And you've been it's been having a negative impact on your life in some way is what I would say. So, okay. So how does pile number one's person think pile one's feeling? We have Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Star. Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah, this is making sense. They know that they, and I don't want to put it on them. They know that through this relationship, that's the best way I could describe it, that you have been put into like emotional dysregulation. They know that you feel ungrounded in this connection, that you feel a lack of stability, a lack of clarity, and a lack of emotional fulfillment. It's like the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles for me is this energy of the unfulfilled feminine, that feeling of a little bit insecure. Like I'm not trying to, I don't want to make you feel bad with that word, but I'm just saying these can come across like, and not in a negative way. It's just literally lacking security within the emotional validation and the actual, this person thinks you feel invalidated, and that with the Star being here in the middle, that the way you cope with that seems to be through having hope for the future. So this person knows that that you're feeling dissatisfied, and I want to say the word desperate, but not in a mean way. And like I use this word a lot in my therapy because for me, like if you've grown up and you didn't get like your needs met, we become desperate for that because we are desperate for it. And so it almost feels like this is more of like for you, it feels like there's an anxious attachment style going on where it's like you just really want to hope that this person's going to come through. And they know that you're feeling a bit unstable, is the way I would describe it. And that you're hoping for more. But let me see. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have Death. How does pile number one's person think they're feeling right now? Four of Cups. Yeah, okay. I like to see this. Queen of Swords in reverse. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so, but okay, so this person may have felt that you held on to the hopes of this connection. This person thinks that despite them not giving you what maybe you wanted, that for some time, the hope was enough for you. And so that gives me a feeling of like breadcrumbing I will get into this person's feelings later. And so I'm not sure yet if it's like, I'm not sure the extent of my reading on this person yet, but it feels like they know that you felt breadcrumb, that you felt like you were not getting any sense of consistency. So they think that you feel like because this person with the Knight of Pentacles here wasn't showing up consistently and nothing was building consistently, that what you hope to build is now dying. This person thinks that whatever hope you had is dying, essentially, and that you're working on letting go of this part of yourself that still wanted them to come around. Because I also want to point out that it's a legitimate way to feel. Like if you're engaging in a relationship where you feel like you want to invest, you want to give emotionally, and there's reason to believe that the person might reciprocate, and then you do give, obviously, or like it makes a lot of sense that you would be feeling like, what the heck, or like you'd be feeling unstable waiting for that return. You've been waiting to receive from this person. And they know that they haven't given that to you, that they haven't fulfilled your fantasy or your dream. And I say fantasy because maybe they think that you saw them that way, or maybe they may have known that you were going to want more. They may have known that. And so we'll get into their feelings in the extended, but I just feel like this person thinks that you're angry now. That your sweetness that was once there, that like that part of you that wanted to keep giving love to receive it in hopes of something happening has turned sour. So a lot of Olivia Rodrigo coming through was sour. But with the Four of Cups here, they think that you feel very fed up. Fed up is the way I would say it. And it's like the dissatisfaction you're feeling seems to be turning to somewhat of resentment and anger, and rightfully so, in my opinion. And they seem to know that it's based around a lack of emotional fulfillment, that you may even be feeling rejected as well. Like this person thinks you might be feeling rejected, and that maybe your only option is to let go of this. And they may also think that you hope that they will change. That's something that's coming through with the Star and Death. They may be thinking that you're wanting them to change, that you're wanting, I'm going to clarify it. Because this, for some of you, I'm seeing two energies here. So I'm just going to get a sip of water and tell you both. Some of you in this pile, your person, and I think you'll know this based on how you're feeling, but actually I won't know 100%, but for some of you, this person thinks, so just go with your intuition on what it is, thinks that you are frustrated with them and you're rejecting them. You're now giving them a taste of their own medicine. You're moving on from this hope you had because you're dissatisfied by the lack of Knight of Pentacles. Or for some of you, this person thinks that your hope, you're still not discerning with them. So some of them think that the weight of what, like the power, they think they still hold a power over you, and that you'll do anything, that you won't actually let go, that you're actually just gonna. Some of these people believe that you are going to, they still have you kind of wrapped around their finger. Some of them think that. Because I'm getting that as well. Some of them think you feel rejected, and that rejection is making you want them even more. But for others, they think that some of them may be fearing that you are stepping into your Queen of Swords energy, where you're stepping away from them. And the way you would know which group you're in, I would say, I feel like for those of you that have cut off contact with this person, likely those are the ones that are thinking that you're kind of rejecting them now, that you're kind of trying to move on or look for someone else, that this instability has driven you to the point where you're deciding you deserve more. But for those of you who are still responding to this person, are still waiting on this person's like text messages, are still reaching for them. They think they still have you. That's the best way I could describe it, yeah. So hopefully you guys know which group that you're in. So I'm gonna get some oracle cards now. How does pile number one's person think that they're feeling? We have to the sea. We have a change in the wind in reverse, and then go the distance wanting to come out. I think this just stands really true to what I'm getting. I think that there's literally two groups here. So you guys, and I think it's also could even be that there's a past energy here and a future energy. So I think the natural timeline of this cycle is really going to look like in the beginning, a lot of people I think will still be reaching for this person out of that desire to get rid of that painful feeling of not receiving from this person, you know, and maybe having been led on or having the idea that something more was going to happen. And so some of you may still be hoping but the energy check-in, I think a lot more of you are at that part where you're starting to realize that you may need to make adjustments, because with a change in the wind here and to the sea, this card, all of these cards are indicative of, do I go forward or do I hold back? Is this going to work out or is this not going to work out? You know, like, and so I think what I'm seeing is that I think most of you are going to probably go through this one phase where you are, and I realize this isn't exactly how you feel. So this person, let me say what they think. They think that you are trying to figure out whether or not holding on to them is worth it, whether or not you should change your strategy, whether or not you should look for other opportunities, or whether or not you should wait for the opportunity to come. So a lot of these people think that you are not sure, but they think a lot of you want to stay dedicated to this connection, that a lot of you don't want to make the judgment call of cutting them off. A lot of them think that you still want things to work out in the end, that you don't want to change. You don't want to have to change direction, essentially, despite what's been going on in the connection. So I'm going to ask Spirit, like what the majority, for pile number one, what is the majority of, can we please clarify, like, what do they think pile number one's overall hope is right now? 7 of Wands. Okay, so so I'm seeing that maybe for some of you, it is possible that this person thinks that you are waiting on them, but I think actually for a majority of you with the 7 of Wands coming out, that you're actually becoming defensive of yourself, that you are guarded now because you may be realizing that things aren't going to change with the change in the wind. It's like, for some of you, it's that if it was meant to be, it would be, you're realizing that you don't want to stay in this parched desert like this cheetah, like hoping for things to change or get better, and then things not to change. So a lot of these people are actually starting to feel like you are no longer willing to sit in this state waiting for them. So a lot of people think you're fed up, you're frustrated with this, you're actually going to be defensive towards them now, is what they think. And that you want to, with breathe here at the back of the deck, yeah, and to be fair, that you want to regain your state of mind, that you want more fairness in this connection. Yeah, and then yin underneath, that you want to receive and take a nap, you're tired of this. And so a lot of people, oh my gosh, you guys, sorry, this is just telling such a long story. Oh my God, you guys, all of these are just really telling a story. So it's like, clean it up. This person thinks you're no longer willing to put up with their BS or things that they really need to figure out. And it's time for you to go. If that's what's meant to be, they think you're willing to accept that because it's getting exhausting, essentially. And you're realizing you deserve to receive, and that there hasn't been a fair give and take, and that if it's not going to work out, you're not going to keep burning yourself out on this connection. Like, you're not going to make a fool out of yourself anymore, and it's like, it's not that you are a fool, it's that this person, by not reciprocating, has put you in that position. And so now it's like you're taking your power back, and they know that you felt dissatisfied in the connection, that you've been really wanting much more consistency from them. That's what you hope for. But if you aren't able to get that, you're disinterested then with the Four of Cups. So I'm going to go with that interpretation. For some of you that feel the other one's right for you, take that, as it resonates. But this is the overall picture that I'm getting. So, I want to end off this reading with some advice for you, before we go into the extended, to see how they're feeling about you. And I am very curious, like, how does this make them feel? Like, they feel like your feelings are changing for them the more that they don't change. The more that they don't come around, the less invested you are in this, like, hope of the future. And it's like they think you're realizing that you want something that's going to actually progress and is actually going to go the distance. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So what advice do we have for pile number 1 in regards to this person before we get into the extended? Bring your ideas to life. Let spirit be your guide. And time for a deep dive. Take the lead as well here. So with bring your ideas to life, I'm getting that this could just even be like a side message for some of you guys. If you guys have been thinking about pursuing like a new career path, or you guys have some sort of creative ideas, or you think you might be good at something, or you're holding something in your heart, and you're like kind of hoping and dreaming about it, but you may not believe in yourself, or you may not be taking steps towards it, or you don't know if it's for you. There's a message coming through that there is something for you that spirit wants you to trust them on. And it could even be that like this connection is going to be helping you in some way to realize your power and realize what strength you have, or to realize sorry, I just had this like deep fear that I wasn't recording at all, but there's a feeling here that you may have, this person may just be that like sort of frustration and anger that gives you motivation to succeed more, if that makes sense, or to take yourself more seriously and to take your value more seriously. So Spirit's saying you can trust that Spirit wants to guide you, especially in whatever your passions are. But with time for a deep dive here, Spirit is really saying, if there's been things, this is essentially what I think you've been doing, or what you've been needing to do. This is like that hermit energy with time for a deep dive. It's like we can kind of procrastinate on really getting to the bottom of something, or really like being honest with ourselves about an emotional truth of something. Spirit's really encouraging you to keep reflecting on this and keep getting to the bottom of it, and try to learn what you can from this situation, and try not to just float on the surface of things and ignore anything, which I don't think you're doing, but Spirit's just encouraging you to continue to like process this, to take it seriously, to see what these emotions are telling you. And Spirit's telling you that you'll get a lot of guidance from that. And like whatever ideas come out of you reflecting on this, Spirit may be saying to follow those, or maybe you're realizing what you want in a relationship. Bring those ideas to life. Realize there's a lot to be learned through really not being in denial about the situation, and really going deep into it, being like, how do I feel about this? Like, what do I need? What is this teaching me? And kind of that will help guide you, is what I'm seeing. So I'm going to take it into the extended now. We're going to be looking at how your person's feeling and thinking. We'll be getting messages from them as well. But if this is where you are tuning out, thank you so much for being here. If you want to see more readings from this channel, I would love for you to join the community through subscribing. And if you're able to hit the like button, to comment if you have an extra second, it's really helpful for the channel, and just for me to get some extra feedback on how I'm doing. So I hope you guys are well. I've missed you all so much, tuning into the energy. It feels so good today. So yeah, I hope to connect with you again soon. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Dreamy Moon Tarot with this clear quartz heart, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at how your person currently thinks you are feeling about them. The situation or relationship. We are going to be starting off with an energy check-in to see how you feel about this person, the relationship, etc., just to help you figure out if you've picked the right pile and to give you the opportunity to check out another energy check-in to see if that one fits your situation a little bit better. So I'm just going to get right into it. So for pile number pile number two. Did I say pile number two the whole time? But for pile number two, from their point of view, how are they currently feeling and thinking about this person? Please confirm for them that they have picked the right pile, that this does fit their situation. All right. Pile number two, Spirit. How's pile number two, the viewer, currently feeling about the person that we're going to be looking at for their reading? It's their perspective. We have the Eight of Swords, which is the Eight of Crystals in this deck. We have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position, Four of Stars. We have the Nine of Swords as well. Okay. I'm just gonna make sure everything is in view. Perfect. Okay. So what's coming through? There's a feeling here of being stuck, like with the Eight of Swords, of course. But what I'm seeing is there's an energy of being afraid of maybe letting the situation change. It feels almost like you have a lot of anxiety, you think a lot about this person, you think a lot about this relationship. And it could be, I'm going to clarify, but it could be that there's something about your comfort zone here. And it's almost this energy of, what happens if I get out of my comfort zone? It's like you have a lot of anxiety about what that would look like if you did make a change, or if you did go out of your comfort zone. We'll see in what way that is. And I think that's what's trapping you, making you feel like you can't change the situation, or it's like there's a stagnancy here, but it's due to feeling afraid of making some sort of change or doing something different. So what is that? I'm curious. I want to first clarify, why is the Four of Stars? What is this? Can you clarify the Four of Pentacles, please? The Hermit in reverse. Yeah. Okay. So it could be a fear of being alone, a fear of being able to be stable on your own, potentially without this person. I'm not going to go that far. I don't want to like stress you out, but it feels like this is a situation where you may feel unhappy in the relationship, or unhappy tied to the dynamic, but there could be a part of you that also doesn't want to let it go because of the fear of that as well. So Eight of Swords, please. Or how is pile number two thinking, feeling about this person? With the Ten of Pentacles, it almost wanted to come out reverse. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling like, I don't know if this is someone you're in a serious relationship with, or it could be that you have like shared assets or something shared in this connection where you're feeling like this is where your stability is, this is where your growth is, but maybe there's a part of you that wants something else, but is afraid of losing something stable. So this could even be a situation that feels, it gives you stability, but it doesn't make you happy. Can we clarify this more? We have the Seven of Swords in reverse, and then the Three of Wands. Okay. It almost feels like you want to explore more. It may be that you want to go off on your own. I don't know if this is a relationship you've been in for a long time, or if you've made a lot of promises. It almost feels like there's some like traditional reason why you feel stuck, or it's almost like you feel like you aren't able to listen to your heart as well. Because with the Hermit in reverse, it's almost a feeling of, I know that my inner self is trying to talk to me. I know that I'm betraying myself, or I'm not listening to what my heart's telling me or what my intuition's telling me, because I'm so afraid of hearing that message. Because what if it's almost one of those situations where you don't want to know the truth, because if you know the truth, or if you really are honest with yourself, then maybe you'll have to make a decision that you are uncomfortable making. But there's also part of you with the Three of Wands. I feel like you're seeking more expansion. I think you're seeking more excitement, maybe even travel. It just feels like you want to experience more than this, but maybe you've been made to feel like this is what everyone else does, or maybe you have societal, even like family expectations of what you're supposed to do in regards to this relationship. And with the Seven of Swords in reverse, there's an energy here of, because it gives you anxiety to be honest with yourself, there's an energy of maybe lying to yourself, or even to the situation. It's almost like you feel like you can't really be honest with this situation. There's a sense that you want out, you want change, but you almost think that the consequences of embodying that and making decisions based off that truth are worse than the consequences of denying your inner truth, betraying yourself. So it's almost like there's two things here that are at stake. It's like either your own freedom and expansion and connection with yourself and, listening to your heart, all of that is on one side, but that might also involve a lack of stability. That might also involve letting certain people down. That might also involve losing community or losing a sense of yourself and what you've known yourself to be. But you would gain an opportunity to explore who you really are. And so it feels like the other side of it is staying in the comfort zone, pleasing other people, not having to deal with change, not having to deal with disappointing others, and maybe being judged for your truth. But then you lose yourself, and so it's kind of like it almost feels like you haven't really decided what's more worth it. And it's like, that's what's creating this stuckness with the Eight of Crystals. So that's the situation. It's not exactly clear who this is going to be about, how they think you feel. I'm curious if you're wondering if like the main person involved with this, maybe you want to know if they know that you feel like this. Just to, I don't know, maybe that's what you want to know. But anyways, I'm going to get into it now. So I think the main confirmation here would be that you feel like you are in a situation like that. And it doesn't have to be that the relationship itself maybe is like what's constricting you. Maybe it's that there's like a job or something, and maybe this person requires you to do that job, for example, or like maybe they expect that of you, or there's just something about this that feels limiting, or feels like you have a responsibility to something that is making you feel trapped and is limiting your true heart's desire, like following your heart, essentially. It's almost, you know what I'm getting? I've been watching a lot of Bridgerton. I've actually watched it all. I binged it all. I haven't been, if you guys are watching this when it comes out, I've been taking a break, and a self-care for me has been just like letting myself watch TV. And so I watch all of Bridgerton, but this almost feels like, especially in the olden times when it comes to like the patriarch, and when you're born into like the royal family, for example, it's like you're born with the burden of a duty to preserve the lineage, and it's almost like there's this way of living life where love and freedom is sacrificed, and it's like a sacrifice they make to preserve the tradition. And so a lot of that show is about the struggle of which to pick. Like, do I lose? And I'm also hearing Mulan, I would break my family's heart. I'm not going to sing it, but who is that girl I see? It's almost like you don't know yourself. It's like, I'm never going to be this person. And it's like, then she runs away to go do what's true to her. And so it feels like a real Mulan sort of Bridgerton situation of like, do I do my duty to my family and what everyone expects of me, or do I do what I want to do and lose that support or lose that position, that security that comes with it? And like, that's also what happens is like, if they don't marry someone that is like acceptable, like what the family says is okay, then it threatens the whole reputation of the family. So, and it threatens the stability of their family and them. So it's a real like stability versus freedom. Okay, anyway, so hopefully you guys will know who you are wondering about the most in regards to what they think you feel. So I'm just going to go into it. So whoever pile number 2 is most concerned about or most interested in, please channel that person. So pile number 2's person, how do they think pile 2 is feeling right now in this relationship about them? What is their perception of pile number 2's experience? How does pile number 2's person think they're feeling? Okay, we have the King of Crystals in reverse. We have the 7 of Swords in reverse. We have the 10 of Wands also coming out in reverse. Okay, interesting. 5 of Swords. Six of Swords. So I'm thinking that this person could be someone that you feel tied to in this situation, or maybe some of you guys are asking about someone else who's unrelated to the situation. So to go back to the Bridgerton, it'd be like maybe you guys are wondering how like the true love thinks you feel, but I feel like it'll come through more once I get into it. But let's just finish out the spread. 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay. 2 of Wands also in the reverse position. Let me just make sure everything is good and in view. I'm going to move it up. Cool. Okay, so this person thinks that you are feeling, number one, the first thing I would want to say is that they think that you are dealing with a lot of difficult situations, difficult people. They know that you're in a situation where you have to be logical or you have to be on guard. And like the way I would say that in Bridgerton is like, there's a lot of people that want to see you fail and like are trying to see people fail that are not on your side. So this person thinks that you're dealing with sort of hostile energies around you. And that is a big part of what's impacting your feelings for the situation. And they also feel like, this person thinks that you are crumbling under the responsibility and the pressure. They seem to know that, and they seem to know that the more that you don't acknowledge the heartbreak, maybe of your current situation, the more that you don't this is a real head versus heart situation. So I'm not surprised to see the 3 of Swords here. This situation almost feels like you either break someone else's heart or you break your own. And with the 3 of Swords in reverse, for me, it's pointing to breaking your own heart or not acknowledging the pain that you're experiencing in order to not break down almost. But with the 7 of Swords in reverse, this person thinks that you are not really being honest with yourself right now. That you're maybe not even being honest with them or yourself. This person also seems to think that you feel like until you get to a more secure situation, you won't be able to communicate with them is kind of what I'm getting. So this could even be like the other person, but let me just clarify. This person seems to think that you are feeling confused about your future at the very least with the Two of Wands in reverse. They may even think that you're feeling like the risk of making the decision for your heart is winning right now. Like your fear of that is so strong that it's like they think you'd almost rather break your own heart than fail or put down your responsibility for the situation. So this is someone who thinks you're gonna do your duty, if that makes sense, in the whole analogy. They think that you know that they know that you feel like you want to move on to a better place, that you want to get to a more happy situation, that you do want to transition, but they seem to be aware of the fact that that would require a risk, that would require some bravery when it comes to the Two of Wands. And it may even, with the Queen of Stars here, there could be two people here that are relevant. For some of you that clicked on this pile, by the way, this might be your person, not to confuse you, but it could be your person that's in this situation, because it just feels like there are three people involved in this. It feels like there's the person who's going through the dilemma of which do I pick, my duty or my heart, and it feels like along with the duty, it feels like there's a love interest there. That could be this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And then it feels like on the other side of following their heart, there's another person that this person's heart really wants. And so I'm not exactly sure whose perspective we're looking from. I can actually just ask, whose perspective are we looking from right now? Can you give us clues about whose perspective we are looking from? Page of Cups in reverse. One more. Judgment, yeah. Okay, so this I think actually is, I think this may be the perspective of someone who may have been waiting on you, or it feels like they're the heart choice. So this is how the person that, I'm trying to make sense of this. The person that you feel drawn to, heart-wise, not duty-wise, this is what they think you are feeling right now, okay? So what they think is that you are I'm just going to kind of restart, that you are in a difficult situation where you're being forced to be logical, and it's almost like you have to put your head over your heart. It's almost like it's going to cause a lot of problems if you don't do that. But they also think that the weight of you continuing to put your duty over your heart is not only breaking your heart, but it is too much burden to carry. They think that you're afraid of making a different decision for yourself. They think that they think that you know that you need things to change, that the only way that you could feel happier in life is if you did move away from the duty. But they think that you are so hooked into this situation, it may be just so rooted into you that you'll betray yourself. So this person thinks that you're betraying yourself and you're really breaking your own heart doing that. And they also think that you're feeling under threat too from a lot of people around you. They think you're dealing with some drama, hostilities. They know they almost know that you're having to be really careful right now. Yeah, let me see. So, and they think you feel like you're going to lie to yourself and you're going to continue to hold this facade to keep the peace or to stay protected in the situation. And they feel like the only way that you would not lie to yourself is if you made the decision to move away from this. They think you are contemplating that decision. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Yeah, it's like two of Pentacles. Yeah. so it's just a confirmation of what I'm getting at, is like they think that you're in this situation where you're having to balance two decisions in a practical way. It's like you can't have both. And so this person, if you're wondering if they are aware of, and this is supposed to be how they feel. So I think the way that they think you feel about them has a lot to do more with logistics of the current situation. So it's not coming through as much like how they think you feel about them, or how they think you feel about them. It's more like the person that's coming through is saying, I know that how they feel about me doesn't matter, or isn't going to come into fruition, isn't relevant for me to even focus on until this is decided, until this is figured out. And so they think the way you're feeling is a lot of a focus right now. They think a lot of your thoughts and emotions are tied into your current circumstances and what you're dealing with. They think that you want to come towards them. They think that it breaks your heart to not do so. And they also think you are miserable. They actually think you're miserable in your current circumstances. But they seem to know you, and they know that it isn't going to be quick, or it isn't going to be an easy choice for you. And they honestly, and this is like, we're going to go into their feelings in the extended, but a part of what they feel is that they're not going to be able to control you, and they don't want to wait on you. So it's almost like they're a little bit removed when it comes to how they think you feel. It's almost like they're letting you decide. There's just this really strong feeling of like, no matter how you feel about me, it's not going to matter unless action is taken, unless a plan is made. So that's just really what's coming through. I hope that makes sense. And they feel like you won't be able to invest in them or have time for them until you move away from this. So they just know they know that you aren't trying to, they're very aware of the fact that they aren't compatible. So it's like, they know that you know that they can't be with you and stay in this situation. So that's what they think you feel. And that's what they think you think. And that's something that I think they've accepted as well. So it's kind of your decision, you know? But anyways, okay, can we clarify how pile number... Oh, by the way, the reason why I knew the Page of Cups here, I think this is supposed to be like a new emotional beginning that may be blocked. This is someone that you maybe are needing to express your emotions to, maybe even apologize to or explain your emotions, but it would require you rising from the situation. It's like the person that's waiting for a judgment call from you, waiting to see if you are going to take the new opportunity. This is not the perspective of someone who may be in your life currently. All right. So how does pile number 2 think that their person is feeling, or think that you're feeling? Wait, how does pile number 2's person think pile 2 is feeling? With the 6th chakra. Yeah, woman, they think that you feel a strong spiritual connection to them, that intuitively your heart is called to them, but it feels like there's some woman, there's a woman here, it could be a mother, it could be a significant other, that is the main blockage in you following what you know to be true intuitively and trusting the soulmate connection. It's like there's these two things. It's either this high level soulmate connection or this like more karmic limiting situation. They seem to know about that. So they know that there's some feminine force that is a hindrance to you coming towards them. Yeah, towards you listening to your intuition with Goddess of the Moon. Yeah, and strategy in reverse. They feel like you don't have a strategy right now because of this blockage. And until you make a decision around this energy, and this feels like someone who's controlling with you, who feels almost like they may depend on you, they may make you feel guilty. They're trapped. There's an entrapment energy of someone that doesn't really have your best interest at heart, but manipulates you into thinking that you have to stay or you have to pick them or something like that. Similar to like in Bridgerton, like a mother that has like a son that's a king, that is like the main reason why they can't do something else is they have to please this feminine force. Or it could even be in the Bridgerton, it could be, imagine that someone's a king to be, and then there's this person that they're supposed to marry, but they don't love them. That's this. So it just feels like there's someone that you feel like you have a duty to, that your person knows is the blockage, knows is why you aren't making any moves, you know? So they just think that there's a blockage and that it has a power over you. They think that you're struggling to free yourself from this. Okay, I'm just get a couple more oracles and then we'll go into the extended and see how your person feels about you. So your person would be the person you may have actual true feelings for, like a high level soulmate connection, not this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. All right, how does pile number 2's person think they're feeling and thinking? Yeah, come to the edge in reverse. And so come to the edge is all about putting your heart on the line and taking a risk. And it's in reverse. So pile number 2's your person thinks that you're afraid to take the risk. You're afraid to follow your heart. That's what this card is all about. So that's what they think you're feeling and thinking right now. Yeah, soulmate in reverse. That you are instead, because you're afraid to follow your heart, they think that you are choosing a non-soulmate connection, and that they think that you're saying no to the soulmate, which feels like them. So they think that you are not picking love. They think that you're deciding that love is not more important than duty or pleasing others or stability or whatever other motivation there is to not follow your heart, whatever that risk is. Yeah, they think that you are afraid to trust this and you're afraid to put it on the line and go for the soulmate. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. Again, a lot of you picking this pile, it could have been that this is your person. So it could be that you're the high level soulmate, most likely, if you're coming to tarot readings. Yeah, so now we're going to be looking at how this high level soulmate that feels out of reach to you is feeling about you. So we'll be getting tarot, oracle, and then we'll be getting messages from your person, and then we'll get advice for you at the end of the reading. So I'll have that link down below if you want to hear more. And other than that, thank you so much for being here. If you have an extra second to hit the like button or leave a comment, I do appreciate every bit of energy exchange, and I also appreciate the feedback to see how I'm doing. And if you want to see more readings from this channel, I would love for you to join the community through subscribing and putting your notifications on so you're able to see future readings from this channel. But anyways, I hope to connect with you soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Heart in the Hands Tarot with this black obsidian crystal, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at how your person currently thinks you are feeling about them. We're going to start off with an energy check-in to see or to help confirm for you that you picked the right pile, and to give you the chance to pick a different pile if you don't feel like it resonates. There will be an extended reading where we're going to be looking at how your person feels about you. So if you really feel like the reading resonates and you want to listen to more content today, I will have that link down below. It is a link to Vimeo. So just wanted to let you guys know. All right, so for pile number 3, please tune me in. How does pile number 3 feel about their person? What are their feelings, thoughts about the person and the relationship? Anything to help us confirm that this is their pile. How is pile number 3 thinking and feeling? We have the 9 of Swords. The 5 of Swords in reverse. Okay, let me just double check that it's all in view. But the first thing I would say is that I definitely think this is your pile if your mental state right now is certainly anxious about this person. You may even be dealing with some overthinking or even insecurities about yourself when it comes to this person, but we'll get more into it. Yeah, we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the 9 of Cups. Yeah, so there's a fear of what's going to happen here. I feel like for some of you, you may feel very attached to this person is what I'm getting. Because with the 9 of Cups here, it's making me feel like because you like this person so much, or because you have so much hope with this person, it feels like there's a lot of attachment and a lot of fear because it feels like the stakes are so high. But let me finish out the spread. We have the 8 of Wands in reverse. And then Justice here in the reverse position with the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So pile number 3, I feel like there may be a lack of communication at the current moment. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you're listening to this, I'm getting the feeling here that this isn't the most balanced relationship because it feels like you have to second guess this person's feelings for you, your person's thoughts, which would make sense why you're at a reading to understand more, but it's so prominent here, this feeling of trying to figure out what this person's maybe trying to communicate to you. I feel like you're really having to read between the lines in order to know what's going on with this person. So with the 8 of Wands in reverse, it could be that right now there's like been maybe the relationship's slowing down right now, and you may not know what that means. Maybe this person isn't communicating with you as much, or maybe they're pulling back, and there's just this feeling of, what does that mean? You know, like, does this mean that this person isn't interested in me? Does it mean that this person, that I'm not going to have an opportunity with them? Sorry, there's some dogs barking outside. With the 8 of Pentacles here, yeah, I feel like you really want to work on this connection. I think you really would like to you're willing to put the effort in, is what I'm getting here. But there's this doubt of maybe worthiness, or even, I think there's this part of you that doubts that this person would see you the same way, or that this person would also wants to invest. And it may even be that this person's had a lack of effort when it comes to making gestures or taking action that for sure means that they care about you. So I think there's just this question of whether or not this person cares about you. So I want to see, why is Justice here in reverse? 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there's something here that Spirit is talking about when it comes to the balance of this connection. Like, I feel like there's something here where it could be that the amount of energy you're putting in, or the amount that you are prioritizing this, is not equal to the other person. And it even could be that there's somewhat of a feeling of putting this person on a pedestal, or like that all the work will be worth it. Like, there's a feeling here of, if I just put in enough work, then this person will validate me, or this person will return that. And so there's this real, I want to say sensitivity, or hypervigilance when it comes to what's going on with this person, and I think you're really trying to figure out what they think of you, and it just is very clear that they're not putting it in plain English for you. Yeah. It's like there's just this lack of clarity. Yeah. The moon underneath. Yeah. And the 6 of Pentacles, there's something here about the give and take. It's like, I think you're very generous with this person, or you want to be. And then maybe they don't give you back the same energy. So yeah, I'm kind of just getting but you don't know for sure if they're not interested. It's kind of this like wishy-washy feeling, but definitely a lack of communication, maybe a lack of progress most recently. And a lot of fears about what that means, what's going to happen is what I'm picking up on. So now we're going to go into how your person thinks you're feeling about them. how does pile number 3's, if this is resonating, of course, how is pile number 3's person thinking that pile 3 is feeling right now? Okay, we have the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Cups in reverse, the 5 of Cups in reverse as well, the Prince of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and then the 5 of Swords in reverse. Okay, the 6 of Swords as well at the back of the deck. Okay, so I feel like your person thinks that you, and I could also, by the way, this could be a number of different situations. It could be, sorry, I just want to make sure that the view is all good. Yes, okay, I'm just gonna move it up a little bit. It feels like they are thinking that you really want to, there's something here where they feel like you're very stable in your feelings for them. Like with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like this person thinks that you want more collaboration just with the 3 of Pentacles, that you're looking for consistency when it comes to potentially communication, when it comes to like doing things together, or maybe when it comes to just like how this person's mood is towards you. It could even be that this person changes their mood a lot. Oh, but what I want to say is that this could be someone that's newer to you, or it could even be like a relationship where it's like a rocky time period, and maybe there's like a lot of doubt on like what's going to happen to it because things have shifted or they're not the same anymore. I'd see it that way. Or it could be that the relationship isn't established yet. I'm seeing here with the 5 of Swords, this is mirroring what came out for you. So it definitely seems like your person is aware that you may be going through a lot of self-doubt or even feeling really defeated right now, with the 9 of Wands here as well in reverse. So the 9 of Wands is about like perseverance, even when things have been difficult. This person thinks that you're feeling kind of beaten down and that you're honestly feeling a sense of defeat when it comes to this connection and what you're getting from them, I think. And so also with the 5 of Cups here in the reverse position, this person thinks that you're feeling very emotional, you know, feeling very defeated and emotional, and kind of like the cup is empty right now, feeling like maybe the love is running out. So this person seems to be aware of the fact that you are not happy right now and that you're wanting to get to a better place. Because with the 6 of Swords, yeah, the 9 of Swords, yeah, there's a lot here about this person thinks that they're aware of the fact that what you want most is to move forward in this connection, to move it to a better place, and that you have a lot of anxiety, maybe about a lack of communication, a lack of progress. So they seem to be like aware of your state based on me just tuning into how you feel. It feels kind of similar to how they think you feel. And with the Justice in reverse, it could even be that you're feeling frustrated with this sense. It could even be more than just, you could be frustrated, honestly, because I'm getting that too. I'm getting this sense of, because of the lack of equality or the lack of give and take, maybe the lack of practical balance. And I'm getting just this energy of like, you want more stability, you want more balance, but in a, not just necessarily emotional way, but maybe in like a way that this person is showing up for you. Like, so how is this person prioritizing you in their life? Like, I feel like you're prioritizing them in this connection, and then you feel like they aren't doing that, and that's giving you a sense of defeat, and it's making you feel like this is gonna end. This person thinks you're feeling a lot of sadness and preemptive grief, honestly. So I want to get a little deeper and clarify some of these. Why is the 3 of Pentacles here? The Emperor in reverse. Why is the Prince of Pentacles here? We have Judgment and we have 3 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, okay, so this person almost thinks that you're feeling like this, that like they aren't bringing enough structure to the relationship. They think that you are judging with the judgment card here. Like you're having a moment where you're really looking at, this is from their perspective, that you are not happy with their behavior. You're not happy with their consistency. And with the Three of Cups in reverse, it could be that this person puts other things before you, or that there is, for some of you, maybe a third party situation that you're frustrated about, or some injustice, some betrayal, maybe for some of you. But for others, it could just be this moment where you're like, why are you putting going out with your friends above me, getting like a beer or something, like when you know that I've been trying to hang out with you? It's like, why aren't you prioritizing me? So this person thinks that you're kind of getting to this point where you no longer want to ignore the behavior that has been frustrating you, and you feel like you're not getting any help. This person thinks you feel alone, or you feel like they're not helping. Like that's the biggest thing I could get. It's like they're not stepping into this emperor role where they're not telling you what the plan is almost the way I would say it. It's like they're not giving you enough. They're not giving you enough information. They're not protecting you. They're not providing, there's just this energy of not coming through for you. Can we just clarify overall that, because it's kind of giving the same message, but any other details about the Five of Swords and the Nine of Wands in reverse? We have the Four of Cups and Death. Yeah. And so they feel like you're feeling rejected by them. They think that you are feeling emotionally unfulfilled, number one, but also that whatever you try. Oh, I'm hearing this song. That song that was on TikTok that was like, once again, I am a child. I'm not gonna try to sing it, but it says, I let go and nothing hurts anymore. I feel kind of free. And it's like, we're still the kids we used to be. And then there's this one part of the song that says, I've been trying to make you love me, but everything I do just pushes you further from me. And so I think there's a situation here where I think you're feeling very hurt and not heard, and like all of your effort isn't being well received. It's being overlooked, and they think that you're coming to the conclusion that it's over. This person thinks that you're coming to that conclusion, that you feel like since nothing's changing, that they're not interested in changing with death, then that means all that's left is death of the relationship. Why is the Ace of Cups in reverse? Yeah, the Six of Pentacles. It's like they feel like because you're not receiving from them, that the love is running dry, that they're not interested. So they know that you feel this way. Five of Cups clarifier, please. Empress in reverse. Yeah. Empress in reverse is literally, for me, a card that talks about someone who doesn't quite see their value, but someone that has a lot of value. So it's this feeling of dissatisfaction and this feeling where you're so miserable in a situation, but you're staying in it because you're not fully embodying your value. Because if you were in the Empress upright, you wouldn't keep giving to this if you're not receiving back. So I'm just getting this sense that this person just feels like you want. So I'm very curious to see how they feel, like what their perspective is. But if you're wondering if they're like aware, they are aware. Why is the Six of Swords here? Can we just clarify that? Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're trying to make it work. So this person knows that you want to make it work, that you want to move away from this difficult time period, or that you want to make things better, and that you want to put in the work for that. But you just feel like they aren't doing it. So yeah, that's what they think. So let me just get some Oracle cards now. Yeah, and just that line keeps on coming up. Like, I've been trying to make you love me, but everything I do just pushes you further away from me. And it's like, once again, I'm a child. Like, I let go of all the things that I've known. I don't know. That song might just be relevant right now. But this feels very deeply emotional for you. Okay, how does pile number 3's person think they're feeling? We have peace. To be fair, yeah. It's like that you can't find any peace in this. Like, what this feels like for you from their perspective is this lack of, you can't be in this connection and also be content and happy. This person knows you have this strong attachment to them. We have justice in reverse again, and to be fair, I think what is disturbing, this person knows they're disturbing your peace because of the lack of fairness in this connection, lack of reciprocity. Yeah, we have chopped wood. Yeah, so essentially there's a lot of messages coming through about this person feels like you are not happy in the relationship, that you want to put in the work, that you just want to get through this. You want them to do that too. And they know that that's what would bring you peace. But yeah, with the fates here, there's a feeling of maybe them thinking you don't want to make it, you don't want to let it go. You don't want to just take the facts as they are and make your decision from there. It's like you want to keep giving, keep giving to them to see if they'll finally like kind of love you. Yeah, they know that. And if they know that and they're not making any changes, you know, I just want to say to you guys, pile number 3, like, this is not what you deserve, especially with the Empress coming out in reverse. And sometimes the hardest thing is to accept that a person isn't showing up for us in the way that we need, you know, and no matter how much we love that person, you know, we can't betray ourselves. It's just the biggest thing. But how is pile number 3's person thinking they're feeling? We have journey. We have hostilities. And financial constraints. Yeah, it's like they think that you, they think that you're feeling like you're just being forced to, I guess, move away. It's almost like they feel like they're forcing you to move away, or that that's what you're perceiving, because there's just such a lack in this connection, you know? There's such this feeling of resentment and just defeat and like maybe even exhaustion, and just like feeling like this person really is not cooperating is the way I would say it. And they kind of think you're going to be pushed to move on with the journey card here. The journey is about, even though it's out of your comfort zone, this person thinks you don't want to go out of your comfort zone though. They think that you would rather stay in this where you're not happy, or you want to still put attention towards this even though they know you're not happy in it. Yeah, okay, I just want to get some cards for you guys before I go into the extended. This has been kind of quick. I don't even know how long I've been filming. Yeah, it's 20 minutes, but before I go into the extended, I just want to get some like messages that you might need to hear right now for those of you that like aren't going to be able to check out the extended. For the extended, we'll look at how they're feeling and thinking about you. We'll get messages from them and then more advice on the connection. But before we get into that, let's get some messages. So what does pile number 3 most need to hear right now? It says, I forgive myself for neglecting others and attempt to avoid being asked to share more than I feel capable of sharing. This is your person's energy. So, and it's like the narcissist card. So it's like esteem seeker. It says, I choose to believe that when I'm open and honest about what I'm willing to give and when, I strengthen the bonds between myself and those I love. And so this could go either way, but I'm getting this sense that this is this person. Like, I feel like they're holding back affection, attention, all these things, because maybe they're afraid that they're not ready to give a lot more, or maybe what you need. They may feel like, this is kind of more their feelings, but it's like they may feel, it's almost describing the narcissistic energy, which is like wanting to take, but not wanting to give. I think this person really is not a giver. I think they're a taker. And I think Spirit just wants to highlight that for you. And to remind you that what a person that's healed would do is at least be honest with you about what they're willing to give, so you can make a decision from there, you know, instead of you being left to gauge. Yeah, we have the martyr. It says, I forgive myself for feeling as though I may somehow mess everything up should I choose to trust myself. Yeah, and it may even be that you're doubting yourself. Maybe you feel like you're crazy, or you're in the wrong for being emotional, for hurting, for wanting more. And I'm just here to tell you, absolutely not. I really do not think that's true. Please trust what you're experiencing in this relationship and take that as valuable information for what's going on. The way you feel is important in this. So it says, I choose to believe that every time I allow myself to gently follow my instinct, I strengthen my intuitive muscle to set myself up for future success. Okay, it says, I forgive myself for not making the changes I know would better support me in the realization of my desires. I choose to believe that deep comfort and fulfillment await me, and I may effortlessly receive them both once I surrender the shift required to get there. Yeah, so this just really feels like a situation where, you know, I think you have the information you need, you know? I don't think waiting around like longer and maybe questioning whether or not your dissatisfaction is your fault, or, you know, I don't know. There's just a sense here that it's like, I think you know that something needs to change, and and what Spirit wants to tell you is you deserve everything you're looking for in this connection. If this person isn't giving it to you, doesn't mean you can't have it. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It says, I forgive myself for resisting and attempting to redirect my life's natural unfolding. I choose to believe that life's eternally guiding me towards my deepest desires on an expansive timeline that supports the realization of my highest potentials. Again, we have, I forgive myself for thinking the more I give, the more will be expected of me. I choose to believe that when I ask myself to only give when I'm in alignment with the joy of giving, I experience a deeper connection that allows me to access more fulfillment and more joy and fulfillment. And then it says, I forgive myself for not knowing where to invest my passion or my intention. And it could be for some of you guys that like it's just such a habit, or it may be that you're focusing on this because you don't know what else to put your love, like what else to put your passion and attention towards. And so maybe you're continuing to do the same thing over and over. But it says, I choose to believe that when I give myself permission to change my mind as needed, I strengthen my relationship with myself and clarify my deepest desires. And it could be that like, maybe it's hard for you to change your mind. Maybe it's hard for you to give up on a relationship. And I think that Spirit's just wanting to tell you that that's okay to do that, and you're actually encouraged to do that. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 3. I'm going to take into the extended now. So if this was helpful for you, I do appreciate if you're able to give any feedback on the video by liking it or leaving a comment. Helps me know how I'm doing. And then if you want to see more readings from this channel, I would love for you to join the community through subscribing and putting your notifications on so you're able to see when I'm posting future videos. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope to connect with you soon.